Hey everybody, welcome back to an all-new episode of Monday Coffee with the Doll presents a hot pot of small business support, where we put a spotlight on a small business somewhere around this globe who deserves some time and attention to have their brand elevated to counteract the awful algorithm abuse that small businesses get from social media pages every single day. Small businesses work really hard to not only create the amazing products and brands that they devote all of their time and attention to, but also to be full-time content creators, because without a social media page in today's world, nobody knows you exist. But what is even worse is that not only do they have to juggle an entire new job that they never thought that they would have to put their hands to, social media pages are constantly ghosting and pushing them down in the algorithms to where not only are they having a hard time reaching new clients, but even their own clients and followers don't seem to be seeing their content anymore. So this show focuses on helping bring awareness and trying to boost their algorithms with views by putting our time and attention into lifting them up, talking about how amazing they are, and then sending our own doll fam love and energy to help interact on their posts, share their posts, purchase the products that they put out, and also just sharing this video to help their reach even more, because together we can help boost small businesses up to help get them in more feeds across the globe, which helps boost their clientele, their visibility, and all around just knowledge of who they are in the small business world today. So if you guys want to learn all about an amazing new business, be sure to keep watching, because this one's a good one. On today's episode of Hot Pot of Support, we are going to be focusing on an amazing brand that was founded in 2016 by a woman who not only is an epic seamstress, but also a published pinup model and a double mastectomy breast cancer survivor. That's right, Michelle Vig is an amazing seamstress who has created a one-of-a-kind fun boutique that incorporates all of the amazing things that she loves, as well as teaching other people that life is short, live it the way you want. Based out of Georgia, Michelle Vig is no newbie to retro vintage styling and passions. Like I said, she's a published pinup model and somebody who has adored and valued vintage styling for her entire life, from the 40s to the 70s. She is somebody who puts her passion into her products completely and fully. So much like the pinned up doll, who also was a pinup model, she knows the styling through and through because it's something that she herself is incorporated with all the time. Michelle Vig lives in Georgia with her amazing husband, and in their side time, they are Mr. and Mrs. Claus, which I think is just a really big part of who she is as a human being. When people take time to invest in others outside of themselves, I think that it says a lot about their character, their morals, and just overall like mental state of awareness. And for you to dedicate so much time to make something like children, not that there's some things, but someone like children happy, and dedicate so much of your time and attention to bringing that magic and love to little kids all around the world, that says a lot about who somebody is and how selfless they are. That doesn't even have anything to do with her business, but I think that it's a notable thing, because I think that's one of the greatest things about small businesses, is that it has that sense of depth in other areas that big corporations don't have. So when you're dealing with small businesses like Babydoll Retro Boutique, you're dealing with somebody who isn't just this big corporation that's trying to push out product as quick as they can and not really touch anywhere else in the world, but you're dealing with small businesses who have brand owners that don't just dedicate their time and attention to their small businesses, but they're human beings that are dedicating their free time and more of themselves to others in the world to help make it a completely better place. And who makes the world more of a better place than Mrs. Claus? Now, Michelle has always been an amazing seamstress who has been manufacturing her own clothing and sewing her own clothing, that it turned into a business that she didn't really have any ideas for. But after you start creating so many amazing pieces that she can, I can only imagine how many people are like, hey, can you make me this too? So she's always kind of been a lover of vintage styling. So her designs definitely replicate that era, from like 40s to 70s. She's making circle skirts, she's making jumpers and rompers, she's making cute little like peasant tops, and she also makes men's bowling shirts, which are a huge staple in vintage styling. So don't think this is just for the ladies out there, it is also for the fellas as well. And if you are a lady who likes bowling shirts, she can also manufacture those too. She puts out a wide range of really fun vintage inspired products, but she is somebody who, again, only a small business you can reach out to and say, hey, can you customize this piece for me? That's something that you can't get from Amazon. You get what you get, you put it in the cart, you buy it, if you like it, you like it, if you don't, you return it. But with a small business like Babydoll Retro Boutique, you can interact with the small business owners and talk to them about the designs that you're looking for. Maybe adjust the designs that they have. Maybe get something made for an event that you need. Get a matching skirt and shirt for a couple duo, you know what I mean? Get something smaller for one of the little people in your life, like your sons, your daughters, your dog. You know, it's somebody that you can reach out to and talk to about creating one-of-a-kind pieces that fit your lifestyle, your events, and everything that you need. But the product that I want to talk about and really showcase is a product that has really changed, you know, me in the sense of I struggle with finding things to fit my tiny frame. And when I first met Michelle, she had reached out to me in regards to a really amazing skirt that she creates, and it's probably the first circle skirt that I've ever been able to wear that didn't make me feel like a little spaghetti noodle that's completely misunderstood. So for anybody who has followed me for any length of time, my favorite styling is retro vintage. I personally prefer 40s and 50s styling. I'm a fan of 20s and 30s as well. I love anything Art Deco, and I love anything mid-century, and I love anything nostalgic of those eras. And one of the biggest staple pieces in some of these designs is, especially 40s and 50s, is a circle skirt. Circle skirts are a big part of pinup fashion and styling, but one of the things that I have never really been able to find that fits me is a circle skirt. If things don't go all the way down to like extra small, the likelihood of them being small enough to fit me without me having to try and figure out how to make them fit me better is impossible. And when it comes to circle skirts, I either have to do my old trusty since I was a kid safety pin up. I haven't pinned myself up since I was teeny tiny, or I have to try and get a belt to keep it up. But unfortunately with a circle skirt, you can put a belt around it, but it tends to fall down anyways, and then you're constantly trying to tuck it back up underneath. So that's a big issue for me. And I know from people who are really, really tiny all the way up to really, really big, our bodies are bodies, you know, and unless you fall right into a happy medium where you're just like, I'm a small, I'm a medium, I'm a large. And even for people like that, because the human body is the human body, you have to really finagle clothes onto you, right, to fit and adjust properly. So one of the things that was really rad back in like the 40s and 50s were adjustable wrap dresses and wrap skirts, and what this did was that it helped fit a broader spectrum of sizing, and it allowed things to look more tailored and fitted to people's different body shapes and sizes. So what Babydoll Retro Boutique has done is they've created an amazing wrap skirt that's adjustable to lots of different sizes and shapes. And her standard wrap skirt can fit a pretty broad spectrum of sizing, but again, if it doesn't quite fit right, you can always talk to her about adjusting it just a tad bit to make it fit your body a little bit better. I'm pretty sure that, like, as far as these go, they're gonna fit a pretty big spectrum of body shapes and sizes, but if you need a little bit more adjusting, that's what's so great about small businesses like that, is that they're here to connect with their clients and to create something that makes you happy, where you don't necessarily have that wiggle room if you walk into a Target, if you walk into a Walmart, if you order off Amazon, right? The sizing is what the sizing is. So that's one of my favorite things about her adjustable wrap skirts, is that it fits a broader spectrum of body types, which allows for more people to feel confident and good in their own bodies. And that's always been a big deciding factor of brands that I've you know, dedicated my time to boosting or being an ambassador for or talking about. Back in the day before Lindy Bop went out of business, I was an ambassador for them. And one of the deciding factors on working with Lindy Bop was that they catered to the most sizes. So girls and women on every size spectrum felt heard and seen. You know, they went up to extended sizes, but they also had their petite range of sizes. And I think that that's a big deal. I think that if you're going to design clothes, it makes sense to me to make sure you're paying attention to the broadest spectrum of sizes possible. And I know that that can have like some you know, issues and some things that you have to really work around, and some speed bumps and roadblocks and whatever you want to call it. But in today's world, there's so many different sizes and shapes of bodies that are looking to wear stylish things of every genre. If you're going to create a line of clothing, making sure that you focus on everyone feeling seen and heard is a really big deal. And I think that with her wrap skirts, she really has something special, because not only do they come in amazing prints and designs, and they're sewn impeccably well, that everybody can wear one. So right now I'm going to introduce you guys to one of my favorite designs from my Babydoll Retro Boutique adjustable wrap skirt collection. I have several that I just absolutely love, that I've taken lots of different pictures in, whether it be for photo shoots to create amazing marketing content for this brand in the past when I was doing more pinup photo shoots. And then there's also a lot of times that I just wear these on a day-to-day basis. You know, I have an adorable one that has apples on it that I wore to several of my kids' class parties that all the teachers absolutely loved. But also just around my house, day-to-day wear. And one of my favorites is during the spooky season, I get to break out my pinup witch skirt, which is one of my favorites. And that's what I'm going to introduce you guys today. This is one of my favorite Babydoll Retro Boutique designs. I absolutely am a big stickler for anything that has pinup print on it, but I really love this one because it has pinup witches, pinup devils. I'm a big Halloween fan, and I absolutely love this print. It makes me so happy every season when I get to break it out. This is like my go-to trick-or-treat skirt that I wear when I go trick-or-treating with my kids. I like to wear it to the grocery store. I like to put a big fluffy black petticoat under it to do witch photo shoots. You know, it's just a lot of fun. The print is super fun. The stitching on her skirts is A+. A+, 10 out of 10. She does panels, which helps expand the skirt to fit more sizes. She puts a band across the top to make sure that it cinches in the waist. One of my favorite things about her skirts is that she does contrasting ties and the bottom hem. I absolutely love a contrasting bottom hem. So I'm going to real quick show you guys how this skirt goes on so you can see. It has a little buttonhole for the tie to go through, so you're just going to wrap it around your waist, right? And you're going to put your tie through the buttonhole. Pretty self-explanatory, am I right? Like so. And I like to adjust mine. You can adjust it to tie in the back. You could tie it on the side, whatever. You could tie it in the front, whatever tickles your fancy. And you just pull it tight and you tie it, right? Boom. And you just tie it in the back. You could bring it around. You could give yourself a contrasting bow in the front. You know, I'm not working too hard at this, sorry. But then you just have an amazing little wrap. Here, I'm going to get up on my, y'all, I'm about to parkour for Babydoll Retro Boutique. And then you just have this amazing little swishy wrap skirt. And I absolutely, and I absolutely adore them and love them. And they fit so well. They're so comfortable, and the fact that they're not completely attached gives even more movement because it is an adjustable wrap skirt. So it does have that open slit, which no pun intended. I really love when I'm shooting, because if you are a pinup, if you are somebody who likes to get sassy in photos, if you're somebody who likes to wear seamed stockings and garters, a little slit in a skirt helps kind of give you the opportunity to show off the top of your stockings, your garters. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So there is a lot of goodness wrapped up in Babydoll Retro Boutique's designs. Not to mention, there's an absolutely endless supply of goodness wrapped up in its creator and owner, Michelle Vig. I absolutely love this brand because, you know, I love a brand that puts out a good product. I love a brand that puts out an adjustable product. I love a brand that puts out a one-of-a-kind print product. You know, her skirts and her dresses and her jumpers and her bowling shirts and all of the designs that she makes, she creates with super fun patterns and fabrics that you just don't find in a lot of different shops. If you're somebody who loves retro vintage styling, it's always really exciting to find a brand that caters to the styles that we love, because if you love these styles, you know that there's not a lot of brands out there. So this is a brand that you can not only get the designs and looks that you love, but you can get them that make you feel comfortable and confident in the size that you are. I love a product that caters to confidence, and her brand not only caters to confidence, but it caters to inner strength and inner sense of self. Michelle isn't just a small business owner, but she's a woman who has fought through trials and tribulations of some degrees that I personally will never even touch. And she's survived them, and she's come out on the other side a warrior of great strength, and she chooses to share those things with every life that she touches, whether it be through her pinup work, through her boutique designs, or just getting to know who she is as a human being, which I highly, highly recommend you guys do. So on today's episode of Monday Coffee with the Doll presents a hot pot of small business support, we are not only lifting up this amazing design boutique, but we're lifting up an amazing woman who really puts it all in for not just herself and walking and dancing to the beat of her own drum, but encouraging others to do so also. And I personally, for one, think that is brewing up a big old pot of badassery, if you ask me. All right, now we have come to the part of our show that is my absolute favorite, and that is where I pass it off to you guys. One of the biggest things that you can do to help a small business grow is help their algorithms and their reach and visibility across their social platforms. One of the things that is the hardest thing to gain momentum in is those things. So whereas I highly encourage you to check out her designs and place an order to have one in your own treasure trove wardrobe, but I also highly recommend that you guys all take the time to go check out her social pages, give them a like, give them a share, and do some interacting on her posts. By liking, commenting, and sharing on all of her social media posts and platforms, you're helping boost her algorithms in not only your feeds, but helping her get into other people's feeds as well. The more interactions that posts get from people across the internet, the more that they are capable of being organically seen without having to pay for ad space to all of these big social media corporations like Meta and Zuckerberg. And although we're using these platforms because they've become such a huge portion of our life, they also know that, and they abuse the standing that they have in our businesses and in our creations online. So if we as viewers go out and we do these things to help these social media platforms of these small businesses grow more organically by our involvement, we're helping spread the goodness across the platforms themselves. So another thing that you can do that will really help is share this video. This video has tons of information and knowledge about this small business. I'm providing all of the links below, and by simply sharing this video or sharing the post from my social media pages themselves, you're helping increase the reach of this small business by every single friend on your friends list. And make sure that you encourage them to do so also, because the more that we lift up small businesses, the more growth and the more takeover they're going to have versus all of the big corporations that are absolutely stomping them out. With small businesses, you're getting better quality, you're getting better service, you're getting one-on-one interactions with the sellers, and you're getting things that are more sustainably pure and accurate and good for overall usage in a whole. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Monday Coffee with the Doll presents a hot pot of small business support. If you're looking for a hot pot of support for your small business, remember to check below where you can find all of the information and links on how to become a featured small business on a new episode. But also check below where you can see how you can hire me to help create amazing content like I have for Babydoll Retro Boutique in the past, in creating marketing products and marketing campaigns and advertising content, and just kind of showcasing how amazing your products and brand is through my own artistic creative designs. But I also understand that it's really hard for small businesses to have a big marketing budget. So remember, there's also information on how to just get a free shout out at the end of an episode of Monday Coffee with the Doll. So I am Emily Doll. I am your small business lifter upper of sorts, and I am also so happy to have the opportunity to speak on these small businesses and get to interact with them so closely, because that's how I started all of my content creating in the very beginning anyways, is having a small business believe in me and my voice and my ability to lift them up. So I love your guys' faces. You guys know what to do now, and I will see you next time. I'm off to go brew up another hot pot. Toodles!